Hey there guys, this is Tyler here, and welcome back to another video. So today's video is kinda interesting, to say the least. So besides Tyler Tales number 1, The Criminal, this is the first remake of a video on my channel. But instead of a Tyler Tales episode, it's a top 5 video. More specifically, the top 5 worst FNaF Songs video that I released back in November of 2020. Now, I hate that video. A lot. Same with the worst fan games video. Those two videos have no constructive criticism attached, petty insults, focus put onto backseat aspects of the overall products. The fan games video had shitty editing, it also led to certain developers harassed, and as well, the fan games video had me unknowingly praising a pedophile by saying in the number 5 spot that they were admirable for improving their games. Great. And because of the 3 latter complaints regarding the fan games video specifically, if I'm gonna remake that video, it's not gonna be for a while. But in the meantime, I'm gonna remake the least bad video of the duo. I was proud of my editing in that one, and to be honest, besides some slop at the beginning, I think it aged well in the editing aspects. But that's kinda it. My opinions have somewhat changed since I made that initial list. You would be surprised on how often my opinions on things change. And I want to share my updated list while also trying to provide constructive criticism this time because that is a vital part to all of this that I failed to do in the worst list of 2020. And I'm sorry to Dawko and any other music artists or anybody involved with the original video's entries, or just fans of the songs in general who were offended by my rather stubborn and dismissive attitude to each of the entries. Before we begin, 2 disclaimers. Number 1, these are my personal opinions, and it's okay to disagree with them. Opinions are opinions at the end of the day, and I'll have zero issue if you like any of the songs on this list. And number 2, please do not go after and harass any of the music artists, people involved with the song's production, and anybody in the comment sections of this video, or just anywhere in general that likes these songs. This is a serious issue, and I do not tolerate it. All of these people are, well, people, and they have feelings and opinions and tastes like all of you. Hell, some of the music artists brought up in this list I actually do like, so yeah. As well, be sure to subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell. Totally optional, but it would be appreciated if you did. Without further ado, let's get straight in. Okay, so can we agree on this one, please?
Can you shut the fuck up?
So on the original list at this spot, I head into the pit, and part of that was purely because I'm just not a huge fan of Dawko's songs. Again, I really do like and heavily respect Dawko as a creator, and his content's pretty good. I even like Darkest Desire, Count the Ways, and his big band cover, but that's kinda it for me though. Every other song he has made is just not for me. Again, if you really like his songs, even Into the Pit and To Be Beautiful, I have zero issue with that. An observation that I've seen is that Dawko tends to vary up the type of songs he makes. For example, Darkest Desire is a fast-paced rap, while Into the Pit has a slower lifestyle pace. This is done to appeal to everybody in the music artist's audience, which in this case, Dawko's audience. I'm a fan of Darkest Desire because it's more of my music style, while I'm not a fan of To Be Beautiful, partly because of its music style. Now let's talk about To Be Beautiful, the focus point of this entry. So to get this out of the way, since it's not the main focus of the song, the animation. Yeah, not a huge fan still. The human models are still a bit janky, and I would personally recommend to make them a bit more stylized if that makes sense. Maybe add more brighting and shade to the humans in Eleanor. However, the scenes with the transformations here are really good. I'd keep them how they are. So the song. Okay, the lyrics are somewhat just kind of repetitive. I know repetition's a thing in the music world, but I feel like this song would have worked better, especially with the beat this has, if there were either none of it or less of it. And speaking of the beat, it's kind of bland. I would just add more to it personally, maybe a bit more of the gear sound effects that this beat tries to make it sound like. If I can give one positive thing though, the singing in general is somewhat, well, beautiful. But yeah, I don't personally care for this one that much, and it's easily my personal least favorite of Dawko's songs. I feel like if more time was spent on it, it could have been something a bit more special, considering since this seemed to be a special for the 6th-year anniversary of FNaF. I don't know. Anywho, on to number 4. I know, I'm gonna get shot in the head for this one. This song is extremely popular on Gacha Life. And I'm going to be talking about the original that started all of these singing battles on YouTube with incest Aftons. Yay! So my biggest complaint I have with this song is for a majority of it, I cannot really tell what the lyrics were for the singing, and I had to use the on-screen lyrics at the bottom of the screen to comprehend and understand a lot of it. So off the bat, I would recommend make the singing quite a bit more clear and tone down the beat so the singing takes triumph. As well, the actual lyrics to the song are extremely jarring in my eyes. I don't know, man. I would tone down the amount of dark shit. I know that's the point, and you can still have it. Hell,
I like a lot of dark stuff in FNaF media.
But I would add more clever lyrics to a lot of the messed up ones. That's really where my general criticisms end. I like the instrumental, and I would keep that as it is, but of course, tone it a bit down to let the singing rise, like I suggested earlier. Overall though, I'm not a fan of this one, and I honestly prefer the remix. Anyways, on to number 3. Now this is one of the 2 songs that carry over from the original video. Now Lohini. This might be a massive unpopular opinion, but I actually kind of like his songs. Yeah, the animation in the musicals is extremely questionable, but I always felt like that's the point of it. Sort of like South Park animation, where the joke is that the animation is purposefully shit in a comedic way, and the other aspects of the product should be more focused on, which in this case is the song itself. I have gone on record in the original video that his other FNaF musicals besides this one and his FNaF one are really not that bad and are pretty good, to be honest.
This attraction is great. So many guys I can read.
Well, somewhat. Now the beat and instrumental to this one is kinda catchy, which is a thing Lohini usually does a pretty decent job at. And as well, there are a few funny lyrics in this one.
Jump out the window cause I don't give a fuck. Where is my daddy's big gun?
However though, speaking of lyrics, the first problem I notice is that the overall lyrics seem kind of uninspired. So I would generally change them up just a bit to make it more unique and interesting. I would also change the overall tone of your singing voice to be quite a bit higher, and as well try to make it sound like a child. Basically, add some way of engagement to the song because it's kind of bland and too slow in pace, and I think it would be much better if it was changed up a bit. Otherwise, I really have not much else to say. This song is just kind of nothing, and I wish there was more to this one, like a little bit more oomph to it. Well, number 2, I guess. So on the original list, I had We Want Out, which was another FNaF song by DA Games, and I'm still not a fan of that one, but I'm not going to put it on this list because looking back, there's not that much to really discuss about it. Yeah, I know, I just got done with a song at the number 3 spot about it being nothing, but FNaF 4 the musical was discussed on this list in that light because it had potential to be something more, and for We Want Out, there's really nothing because it was a song based on a game that was 5 years old at that point, and had many songs that touched on every aspect FNaF 1 could have potentially had. So therefore, I went with the other DA Games FNaF song I don't really like that much, which is the original version of It's Time to Die. Now the instrumental, while a little bit janky, it's still really good, and it is something I think Will and the folks over at DA Games do a good to great job at over there. However though, my main issues with the song are the actual singing from Will. A lot of the time, I can't understand exactly what Will is trying to sing when I'm only listening to it and not reading the lyrics from the music video. It honestly sounds like a mess, and I would personally suggest for him to lower and or raise a bit of the singing layers because I get what he's trying to convey here. He's trying to make it sound like 2 or more people are singing the song with just his voice. As well, another issue I have with this song is these 2 lyrics. Oh, what? I'm sorry, but I personally don't like the fact that the title of the game is just referenced in the song's lyrics like that, or at least how it's placed. Maybe if it was like the first or last lyric of the song, it would be somewhat understandable, but I don't know, man. This placement for the game's title reference is just kinda off. However though, Will did make a remake of this song, and I personally like it, and it improves almost all of the major criticisms I have of this song, like the singing. I can actually understand him, so good job to Will and the people of DA Games. See, DA Games is a music artist, or well, music artists group that I can respect on the same lines as the Living Tombstone, or Dry Heart Ninja, or even Dako and DHUSA for example, which is something I can't even say about the number 1 pick. Can I just end this video right here? So basically, if you didn't know, Mando Pony was confirmed in 2020 to be a pedophile and a massive creep. And this was extremely heartbreaking and disappointing to people who grew up with his songs, myself included. I loved Survive the Night and Just Gold, and I really do try to separate creator and creation, or artist and art, but my rule ends when there are implications of the creator's actions and truth in the creation. And oh boy, this song is an example of that. I tried to be nice with the other entries on this list by giving them constructive criticism and giving them areas where they can improve on, but with this one, nah, fuck that. I want this man gone from the internet and to stop making music for a younger audience, period. Constructive criticism is meant to be advice for creators on where they can improve their work, and well, the creators need to be still active on their job for constructive criticism to actually work. I do not want Nonce Pony active. Quite frankly, the only constructive criticism I can actually give for this one is for Mando to seek help. Like, serious help. I know that I should probably mention how the song's just creepy in undertones, shed sexual light on an animatronic possessed by a kid, the fact it fails as a joke song if it were one, the off-putting feels. Like, even before Mando Pony got outed out as a creep and when I was a bit younger, I always never liked this one and found it extremely fucking weird. This isn't a It's Been So Long or Break My Mind or Join Us for a Bite, where it's a song about FNaF and its charm. This is a song about a man coming out as a pedophile to the public by using FNaF as a catalyst to make it less creepy to the people who did not know the lore of the series. Except only 5 years prior to the allegations that got exposed online. This song can go die in a ditch. Pedos deserve to be locked away for a long time for the harm they do to children, and this is why the Chica song is, in my opinion, the worst FNaF song of all time still, and Mando Pony, get help.
Well guys, that was my remake of the top 5 worst FNaF songs video. I could definitely say that I'm really proud of this one. I loathe the original video, and I'm glad I finally have a video in its place. Of course, there's still going to be people who get mad at this video because I put a song on this list they like, but as long as I and a lot of other people are content, and there's something for these music artists to use to improve their future work, I think that's just enough for me to call this a success.